We have finished the first week at Wimbledon and there's not many seeds left. Most of them have already gone out. And today, not so many went out because it was business as usual for Carlos Alcaraz against Rublev. Siegemund still looking good. We was joking about her winning the whole thing, but she's one step closer, and other matches as well. The line calling was terrible. We're going to speak about it. Let's go through it.
That's right, day 7 is in the books at Wimbledon. Super Sunday turned into straightforward Sunday for a lot of the players playing today, apart from Cam Norrie, who went all the way to 5. He had a 2-set lead, let it slip back, and then did it in the 5th. I think JG predicted that one, so well done to you. But Carlos Alcaraz looks stronger than ever. Taylor Fritz looks unplayable on a grass court. That's what I thought today. Despite Thompson's injury, he looks very, very good, and he'll be happy with a short match because he's had a couple of 5-setters already. And on the women's side, like you said, Siegemund, she's still flying through. And we had Pavlyuchenkova complaining about the electronic line calling. We will get into that very, very shortly.
Yeah, let's start with Carlos Alcaraz. And people have been criticizing me a lot, saying I don't praise him. Surprisingly, I do really like Carlos Alcaraz. I feel maybe it doesn't come across on the podcast because I'm always bigging up Jannik Sinner and emphasizing my point with him. But I respect both of them massively. And I think Alcaraz is a phenomenal talent. And he has become the youngest man in the Open era to reach 12 Grand Slam singles quarterfinals. 22 years, 56 days old. Second, you got Borg, then you got Becker, then Nadal, then Wilander. It's pretty good. He has beaten Nadal for another record. It's always very close for Nadal. He's just beaten him on this one. And I think this was a really big victory today. We kind of knew he was going to beat Rublev, but after losing that first set, we got to see more of the real Alcaraz. I think Rublev faltered for sure, and he put everything he had into that first set and then just didn't have the physicality to be able to produce that for the other sets. With his game, he is a very powerful player. I think Alcaraz spoke about it in the post-match interview, saying that Rublev's one of the most powerful players on the tour, but he's very one-dimensional. He's not someone who can beat the elite players. He's not made still any semi-finals in the Grand Slam, right?
Yeah,
and
it's crazy.
It is for someone of his caliber. He should be doing that more often. He's had a difficult time with the Djokovic's, the Nadals, the Federers, and it's not got any easier now because the next stage is then Sinner and Alcaraz, who I feel he's not getting any joy against them two at all, and he didn't today.
No, he didn't. The first set was very competitive, but we've spoken about Carlos and the fact that there can be slight dips in the level. I think that he is there for the taking maybe earlier in matches for sets just because he doesn't feel he has to raise his level until he needs to. And once he lost that first set, and I think Rublev played incredibly in the tiebreak. He hit some like incredible winners from like rallies where you'd normally see Carlos win. He was winning those. But then as soon as you got into the second set, the real Carlos Alcaraz came onto the court and then he started just to chip away at Andre Rublev. The errors started to come more frequently from Rublev. And one of the points of the match, if not the point of the match, Rublev was moving Alcaraz all around the court. He was hitting 90-mile-an-hour forehands and Alcaraz was getting them all back right to the death. And then there was a backhand down the line and Alcaraz on the run flicks a forehand cross court. I just can't quite believe how he manages to hit winners from some positions. But I think that shot sort of summed up who was going to win the match. After that shot, I think Rublev sort of conceded a little bit.
Yeah, it was a deep breath, look down, shoulders went, like he just knew that there's nothing you can do. And I think he's that good. Carlos Alcaraz, when he's playing and feeding himself, there was some forehands as well where he didn't hit into the corner, just hit him down the middle. They were so powerful. You don't need placement when you have that power. We've seen it with Fonseca too. Alcaraz has some ridiculously sort of raw ball speeds. And I'm looking forward to how this tournament's shaping up. I really do want to see an Alcaraz in a final. I know I'm harping on, and people could say I'm being disrespectful to everyone else in front, but I just don't see another alternative. And every single round, I feel stronger and stronger that's going to happen. Of course, don't claim to be a genius in saying that. It's the bookie's favourite thing to happen, and we both predicted it pre-tournament. But it does seem that way. I am now a little bit worried about Ben Shelton Sinner. I think Ben Shelton, like you said on the other yesterday, I've been thinking about your quote, and it's been playing in my mind. I actually have a feeling that he's going to push Sinner really hard, and there may be some jeopardy where Sinner's going to have to come back from a 2-1 down or something like that.
I mean, it's possible, but
He's good.
It's all about the mental side of the game. I like the fact that Ben Shelton's in a really good mental place right now with his game, and at Wimbledon, he's got his whole family there. He's got his girlfriend there. Like his relationship
His sister's
with
still there.
Yeah, exactly. So everything is going right for him at the moment, and I think he needs that base just to like keep the confidence going, because he always turns to them, and that helps him. Will it help him when you come up against the best players in the world? That's the big question. It hasn't helped him in the past, but he's still young and he's still growing. And we will maybe find out how good Jannik Sinner's returning is should they meet each other, which I think it's probably going to happen. I still agree with you, though. There's 3 players in this tournament who are there to beat. It's Djokovic, it's Alcaraz, it's Jannik Sinner. I would say Taylor Fritz, I think he had a very difficult first 2 matches in the tournament, and I think that they were matches anybody else could have gone out to. I think Zverev would have gone out to, Medvedev would have gone out to. Fritz is that good on the grass at the moment that he has fought through them, and now he's earned himself 2 very good wins after that, and he looks impressive. Like, could this be a Taylor Fritz who can actually challenge an Alcaraz in the semi-final? Could he actually do something?
Well, today's win was very much needed because it was only 40 minutes long. And for someone who's played a lot of tennis coming into this one, he needed a quick victory at the expense of a Thompson retirement. Thompson was just completely battered by him before the retirement.
Yeah.
And we kind of knew it was going to happen. Fritz is great value to make that semi-final match up to an Alcaraz. I really believe that's highly likely and most likely will happen. And Fritz is a good player. And at Wimbledon, I don't put him in the same bracket as the other 3 you mentioned. And for that, I think Alcaraz will have an okay match in that semi potentially.
Yes, I like the way that we look so far forward just because we have so much confidence in the fact that we believe Carlos Alcaraz will be there. But I think it's justified. He's the 2-time champion, the reigning champion. He's just beaten Rublev, who's playing some great tennis in this tournament, but he's beaten him comfortably, really. After dropping that set, there was only one player winning that match after he won the second. And now he faces somebody who you could arguably say is an easier matchup, really. Maybe not because it's in the UK, but Cam Norrie coming in the tournament was much lower ranked. But look at him now. He's into the quarterfinals. Cam Norrie's just seen off Jarry, who was having a resurgence, but he had to do it in 5 sets. And I think Cam Norrie, this is what British tennis is really all about. Like, Jack Draper didn't really harness much of what being British at Wimbledon was like this year, but Cam Norrie has, and we've seen him do this before. And I think he deserves a lot of credit, Cam Norrie, for like putting in these type of performances.
And what is being British at Wimbledon, Ben? How do you harness that? Because from my experience, harnessing being British at Wimbledon is losing early on.
I think you just got to have the fight, the desire, that's what Cam Norrie's shown right now. The crowd have.
So have you seen a lot of British success at Wimbledon over the years?
Andy Murray, Fred Perry, all of those names. But the one thing I'm happy with Cam Norrie is he knows what's working and he keeps going to it. He keeps on saying, "Put me on number 1 court. Put me on number 1 court," because he doesn't want to play anywhere else because he keeps winning there. And I've never seen him this fired up in a tennis match. You see some of the still shots of Cam Norrie from this fourth round match. He looks like a man possessed. It's brilliant. I've never seen this side of him before, but glad we're getting to see it now.
Yeah, and to be fair, in the late 1800s, the British players were very good at Wimbledon.
The only ones who won it.
They were very successful. That was a successful period for them. But Cam Norrie, I did say yesterday on yesterday's episode that I believe that he's going to win in 4 or 5. That happened. I didn't think it was going to go that way after he won the first 2 sets, and I was thinking it's going to be straightforward. But Jarry is a quality player. I thought Cam Norrie's backhand is something what stood out to me. I thought it was very resolute, and he knows how to play on the grass. He's got experience here at this championship. We saw him a few years ago live watching him, and it was some good tennis. He can produce good tennis, Cam Norrie, but he can't beat the top players. When I say can't, I mean I've got no hope for him. Do I look at him to beat an Alcaraz? No. He's going to get demolished. He's going to get demolished by Sinner. He'll get demolished by Djokovic. I think it was Djokovic the year we was there, right? And that's where he went out to. He's good to a level, but he can't beat the very best. And I think his race has now run.
Alcaraz, yeah, that's going to be a very, very tough match. And especially after just playing a 5-set match as well. 4.5 hours on court. He will need a lot of recovery time. Carlos, I think, will need less recovery time for sure. He's going to be a massive favourite, Carlos. But it doesn't say Cam Norrie might not be able to take a set. I think that he was always...
don't.
Yeah, it could be straight sets, but I think Cam Norrie, the way he's playing, the way Carlos plays, he allows people a set at the moment. I don't think it even matters, really. You can have a set. It's like Djokovic. It's a little bit similar. He just allows them to have one. Then he finds his game. He knows it's a 5-set match. It doesn't really matter. And he can turn it on when he needs.
So Carlos Alcaraz is 1.05 to beat Norrie. Norrie's at 11. So that just sort of backs up what I'm saying. If you want the odds on the straight sets for Alcaraz is 1.6, which I think is actually really good.
That is quite good. Yeah, I didn't expect that. But he hasn't won many in straight sets, so probably that's why it's quite good.
Yeah.
So that's interesting, though. Maybe worth taking that bet, but I'm not really a betting man at the moment. I feel that whatever I pick, it's just going to go wrong. So I'm just going to stay out of it. Karen Khachanov, I don't think I'd had him winning in straight sets today, and he won in straight sets, and that was sort of wrapped up all of the men's. He was first on before I even knew it. I woke up, I had a cup of coffee, all that, checked, and I was like, oh, Fritz is on. Oh, there's already a match finished. I didn't even realize it's already started. Yeah, so credit to him because he got it done. I think he got it done before the rain started because we did have an on and off rainy day in London today. Ended up quite nice in the end. But yeah, it really disrupted Laura Siegemund as well in her match. I think that they played 4 points and then it got called off for about nearly an hour. And then they had to come back in an hour. And then she made light work of Solana. Is it Solana Sierra?
Correct, yeah.
Yeah, so a straight sets win. I'll bring up the results on the screen just so that we can have a look at all of them.
Yeah, let's speak about Siegemund. She deserves her own little bit because we've been joking around with her the whole tournament, and she deserves respect because she's playing fantastically well. Some of her best tennis has arrived in 2025 for someone who's had a long career. I was expecting nothing. I've not expected anything from her for the last few years. Most brackets, I might have her going around a few round or 2 at the very most. But this tournament, every single rounder you've asked me, I've said she's out, she's out, she's out. And that's not even on the podcast. When we spoke about things off the podcast, me and you, because we do speak every now and then when we're not live on the podcast.
Even then.
I've always said Siegemund's losing. And I don't have to confess that, but that's what I've said to you. I didn't say that yesterday. I said she's winning, and I'm now on the Siegemund train, and I'm having her winning every round from here on out. I think she could win the whole thing. She's 37 years old. That the oldest player to reach their maiden women's singles quarterfinal at Wimbledon in the Open era. Second was Tatiana Maria in 2022 when we were there together. Yep. Remember that one. And she's doing some phenomenal things. She's playing very well. Can she do it, Ben?
Sabalenka next.
Can she beat Sabalenka?
Well, the way she's playing, I think Sabalenka, she's been a bit up and down within sets, but she's not really dropping sets, Sabalenka. That's the one thing I'll say.
Siegemund's not dropped a set.
I know.
And Peyton Stearns, Leylah Fernandez, Madison Keys, Sierra, not dropped a single set.
That's what makes it. Is it the pick of the quarterfinals? I'm very intrigued by the matchup. If you'd have said to me pre-tournament, Sabalenka, Siegemund, who's going to win? I'll go Sabalenka easy, probably 1-0 or something like that. Now I'm thinking it could be a really close match. It could be 3 sets, this match.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
I think she's actually in that much form. And Sabalenka won't like that there's somebody. She won't have played Laura Siegemund that often because she's not really in the same level of tournament. So this is an unknown for her. And she's playing so well. And the crowd are going to be cheering on Laura for sure in this match. And Saba hates it when the crowd are against her. She even says, I have to pretend that they're cheering for me. I think, well, could we see an upset? Could this be the biggest upset that we've seen in Wimbledon in the last few years?
Well, Siegemund is now 54 in the world. I think she was like 100 and something before the tournament.
Amazing.
Her highest was 27. Obviously, if she beats Saba, she's going to get very close to that 27. She'd probably have to then win another match, and then she would definitely get to her career high. And well, you never know; could then win Wimbledon. But yeah, just really, really impressive, isn't it? From her, how far she's going at this stage of her career. I think, being realistic, Saba surely should be a step too far, but she's playing so well, and I'm not going to write her off because she's not playing. I tell you what's hard about this one. It's not really Laura Siegemund. Like, it's not the player we've spoke about all these years on the podcast. This seems to be like a better version of her. It's a fair play, and this is what we said in the intro when we was doing the draw. There's going to be a player who's around sort of 100 in the world, who it can all come together and they could go and win Wimbledon, and that wouldn't be the craziest thing. Is it going to be Laura Siegemund? Let's wait and see.
Yeah, and I bet that there's a lot of people out there saying that we're not saying her name correctly, and I'm even worried right now that we're not saying her name correctly or giving her a due because she does deserve it. So right here, right now, I know that we sometimes do this. Let's get Laura Siegemund saying her name so we can get it right. So I'm just going to play it for everybody.
Hi, my name is Laura Siegemund. Laura Siegemund.
Siegemund. There you go.
Okay. So we should have said it like that. Siegemund.
Laura Siegemund. So okay. We say it right from now on, Laura. Don't worry. And I hope everybody there in the comments is going to put the brakes on attacking us. They probably already commented already because we've said it wrong about 7 times already. But there we go. Laura Siegemund. She's playing Sabalenka next. And this is a big stat for Sabalenka as well. Players able to collect 12,000 or more WTA ranking points. Serena Williams with 13,615. Sabalenka 12,070. That's the list.
Yeah, it is very dominant. And despite that, she's yet to win a Grand Slam this year.
Yeah, crazy, huh? Maybe this is the time.
What's it been? Both finals? Did she get to both finals?
Yeah.
So both.
Yeah. But I still think that this, well, imagine if it's 3. God, this is going to be terrible if it's a year of Grand Slam final losses. But this should be the one she should have the most confidence right now. She's playing very well, and she isn't really dropping sets in difficult matches. I think that she's finding a way to win matches that she isn't particularly sometimes in parts of the set playing that great in. I think against Mertens, who's just an awkward player, to be honest, she got all the way to the tiebreak. And even in the tiebreak, there was up and down. But as soon as it hit around, what was it, about 4-all, she was like, yeah, right, now I'm going to win it. And then she just went on and won it. And it was that simple. And I think Mertens just looked fairly happy at the end. It was a bit strange. She was like, oh, yeah, well done. Like, it was almost like she expected to lose or something at the end. Don't know what was going on. But yeah, Sabalenka versus Laura Siegemund. That's the quarterfinal. And let's speak about one of the other women's matches, because I know everybody's waiting to hear us talk about it. It is the biggest, one of the biggest stories of the day. And it was Sonay Kartal going out to Anastasia Pavlyuchenkova. But that wasn't what everybody was talking about. It was more the malfunctioning electronic line calling on center court, with a non-call on an obvious out ball. And here is the image, just in case people want to see, and I'll zoom right in for you. This one here. And obviously Pavlyuchenkova played on, but she said she was in a bit like, couldn't really work out what was going on. Like, why was it not called out? Then she sort of stopped playing. Obviously, the rally continued, and apparently this had been going on for 3 points. It was turned off for. And yeah, there's a statement as well. So let me get the statement up next. Here we go. And this is from the All England Club saying, we have apologized to the players involved. We continue to have full confidence in the accuracy of the ball tracking technology. In this instance, there was a human error. And as a consequence, we have fully reviewed our processes and made the appropriate changes, which guessing means someone's been fired from that role by the sounds of it.
Yeah, I mean, there's no excuse. The All England Club are responsible because the technology, as much as a lot of people can complain about the accuracy of it, seems to have worked quite well. I think we need to move to technology because it does help speed up decisions and, in theory, get the right decision. In this case, it wasn't the technology, it was the human error. So clearly they had it switched off or something for them few points. And it's inexcusable for the amount of money involved in these decisions, for the amount of money fans have to pay to watch it. This is a very lucrative sport. This is for the wealthy. They've made it, they've outpriced a lot of working class people. And it's always kind of been like that with tennis. The least you need to do is ensure that the decisions are right. Because it can be very costly when they're not. And it's a shame for her that she had to endure this. I don't think, though, I know we had a bit of a disagreement. I don't think that what you then do is award her the point.
Well, it was they replayed the point.
I think that's what you should do.
Yeah, you should. You should have awarded. And that she said,
no. I think you should replay the point. I agree with them on that.
I don't
because it's.
I don't think you should.
You have to just replay the point.
I think they have video replay. You do not need to replay the point.
But did they go to the video in real time and look at it?
Even the umpire said to her, and he came and apologized to her after the match and said, I saw it out and I should have overruled the thing at the time, but there was all the confusion about it because this has never happened. Like that, he should have taken it into his own hands. And when they said, "Is it working? What's going on?"
It's difficult to do though because that's not the rules.
Yeah, well,
the rules they've been given is to follow the decisions of the technology, and then if there is a problem in said technology, then they'd have to replay the point.
You just got to use common sense because she lost.
It would
the game.
Be nice, but you do have to govern by the rules implemented at the start.
She said that game was stolen from her before the system was switched back on. So luckily, like she said in the post-match presser, she won the match. So she said, "This is all like let bygones be bygones."
But it could have been a lot worse. Yeah.
And it could have been, yeah. She said, "Otherwise, I would just have to say I hate Wimbledon and I'm never coming back." Like if I'd lost the match, that's how she would have reacted, because she would have had the match stolen from her. It doesn't make it any better that it was a British player playing on centre court with the whole crowd willing the other player to win. And then it just looks like you're trying to fix the match to get the British player to win.
Yeah, that's the other thing.
That's the worst bit about it. If it was any other player from any other country, it wouldn't seem as bad. But the fact is, this new wonder kid Sonay Kartal, and we're sort of hoping goes through to the next round. You're like, switch the electronic line, called it off. Don't worry, we'll get her through. Yeah, I don't know. I still thought it was a great performance by Kartal anyway. She did so well in this tournament. Should be proud of herself. Really put her name on the big stage. Now everybody knows who Sonay Kartal is, and I'm hoping we get to see her in some bigger tournaments now, and she starts playing and beating some big names in the future. So British tennis looking a little bit better. I know it's only Wimbledon, and sometimes they just come out at Wimbledon and go into hiding for the rest of the year, but I'm hoping it's not the case with Kartal.
And she's overtaken Emma Raducanu. So Raducanu is the British number 3. Behind Bolter and Kartal. Kartal now at 44 in the world in the live rankings.
Brilliant.
It's been a great year for Pavlyuchenkova too, because I think she was very good in Australia too. Didn't she get to the quarterfinals there?
Yeah, she's been doing well.
She's actually having a really good year in 2025, and I've dismissed her quite a bit. So credit to her. 34 years old, not as old as Siegemund. Is it Siegemund?
Aula Siegemund.
There we go. And look at it. Make that 10 Grand Slam quarterfinals for Pavlyuchenkova. The first one, 2011 Roland Garros, and the most recent one, 2025 Wimbledon.
Yeah.
14 years span.
It's brilliant. Yeah. Something I didn't expect, but fair play to her. She seems to be doing well at the slams, and more power to her. Obviously, she's now into the quarterfinals, and who is she playing next is the big question. I just need to have a quick look on that, because
Anisimova, is it?
It is, yes, correct. That's who I was going to go to next. And Anisimova is the 10th American to debut in the top 10 this decade. So with that win over Linda Noskova, yep. So now she joins Sophia Kenin, Danielle Collins, Jess Pegula, Coco Gauff, Taylor Fritz, Tiafoe, Navarro, Tommy Paul, Ben Shelton, and there you go, Amanda Anisimova as well joining that. She's been also a little bit of a resurgence in her career as well.
Well, it was due, because she's full of quality and someone who we know is very good at Wimbledon and has the ability to win big tournaments. In 2023, she took a break from tennis to protect her mental health. I think that was famously when you had her
ruined my predictions. I think
inside the top 10. I think you had a winner, maybe a slam.
I was a winner in the Australian Open.
She took a break from tennis. Her ranking fell outside the top 400. Today, live ranking of 8 and into her 3rd slam quarterfinal. I make her a favourite for that quarterfinal, and has a chance to win Wimbledon this year.
Yeah, I would like to apologise for ruining her career for a year or two. So I will now vouch. I will not predict you to win any more tournaments, just so that you don't take any more time off tour. Hopefully she sticks around, because she is, like you said, full of quality, and she's one of the hardest hitting on the tour as well. We've seen her take out the likes of Naomi Osaka on hard courts, that type of thing. The grass, I think she's got a good draw. It's going to be helpful. Who could she play in a semi-final is the big question. That's why I'm just going to have a quick look at the draw. Right? I believe it would be Iga. Yeah, so Iga, well, let me just have a look. No, it would be Sabalenka. Sorry, she's at the top. So we got Siegemund versus Sabalenka, and Anisimova versus Pavlyuchenkova.
Yeah, of course.
The other matches all play tomorrow, the fourth round. Yeah, so we don't know, but we will speak about tomorrow's matches just at the end. Let's just have a quick look. Did we miss anybody out from today's matches? I think that's everybody, actually.
That's it all. We can go to tomorrow.
Let's just go quickly to tomorrow's matches then and have a quick look. And it starts off with probably, is it the best one? Cilic Caboli.
I think so. I think Iga Towson's not a bad one too, because I'm not sure how that's going to go. And I've got a lot at stakes. I need Iga to win that one.
Yeah, I need Towson.
But the most competitive, I feel, is Cilic Caboli.
Yeah.
I make that a 50-50 match, maybe slightly edging towards Caboli, if anything. And yeah, I just want to see. Well, we've got 3 Italians in action: Caboli, Sonego, and Sinner.
Do you think, as I know that this was a thing in the last round, I saw
we could see all 3 Italians win.
We could see all 3 Italians win, but will each of the Italians, once they finish their match, be going to watch the other Italian playing? Because we saw Sinner finished his match and he went and he stood and over on the balcony watching Sonego. And Sonego said when he looked up and he saw Yannick was watching him, he said it just gave him like the extra drive for the last part of the match to win it.
Well, Kaboli won't. He'll be watching Djokovic. He'll be heading straight to de Minaur Djokovic. We've seen him salivating about Novak Djokovic. He got an hour practice with him and said it was one of the best things he's ever done. It's given him so much energy and confidence in his match. He was honoured by the manager to be asked. There's an interview about it, and it's an idol of his. Of course, Djokovic is an idol for a lot of the young players, and Kaboli loves Novak Djokovic, if you didn't know. So I'm assuming if he has the chance to go see Sinner or Djokovic, he's headed straight over to Djokovic de Minaur.
Yeah, he's going to get rid of Sonego. He's going straight over to see Djokovic. Probably get a T-shirt signed or something like that. Just who knows? But I just think that he's a breath of fresh air in this tournament. Someone I didn't expect to do well. And like you say, I think he could potentially beat Cilic. That is, for me, probably the most exciting match of the day. That would be the one which I can't pick it. So that's why I really want to see what happens. Djokovic, de Minaur, I'm favouring Djokovic, obviously. And should be noted, Billie Jean King's there at Wimbledon. They've asked her about, obviously, the records, and she says she wants Djokovic to win it. She says, I just want him just to get one more. I want him to be the outright most Grand Slams, because obviously Margaret Court's got this 24 and she just wants Djokovic to get 25 just so that he has sealed the deal, essentially.
But you can't compare it. One's men's, one's women. So for me, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, but she still is. I think she still thinks that there's a bit of comparison. So she wants Djokovic to win. I like that. Billie Jean King, respect to you. Cheering on Djokovic. That's what we like.
Oh, it's a ridiculous statement because they're two different sports, the men's and women's games. Not just that, Djokovic is not getting through Yannick Sinner. But over to the women's.
Past Dimitrov first. What are you talking about? You just dismissed him.
He'll breeze past him. 1.03, easy.
We give predictions on that. Do you reckon Shelton's going to get past Sonego?
I hope so. I'm going to be cheering on Sonego because I think it'll be an easier match for Sinner.
Oh, here we go. Look, he just wants.
That's what I'm playing. Yeah, I'm shameless. I would like Sonego to beat Shelton. I think Shelton. You've got in my head about this Shelton Sinner one where I'm worried about it.
I can't have another Italian playing him because I feel like I've said it once before on the podcast and I'm going to say it again. It's like the F1. Their number one driver. They're just going to just move aside, let him through, let him get pole position. That's Yannick Sinner. And down the bottom, give us a few little predictions, quick fire ones.
No predictions, but the pick of the match will be Iga Tauson for many reasons. Tauson was so good against Rybakina that she has the ability to worry Iga, but Iga's my pick to win the whole thing. That side of the bracket has opened up nicely. Mirda Andreeva is another player who you shouldn't sleep on at all. I feel she's like the Djokovic of the women's in the sense that she's the third favourite.
Love it.
But then Siegemund could go on and win the whole thing as a wild one. That's one of our wild predictions.
Well, didn't have a win in the first round of the thing. At least I picked that. So anyway, make sure hit a like on the video, subscribe to us and follow us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts as well. That always helps. And we'll see you tomorrow for another podcast.
Yeah, and be here for me to laugh at Ben when I beat him with more predictions. I'm going for the Grand Slam of predictions. I need both of these Wimbledon ones.
Come on, Dimitrov.
See you soon.
See ya.